Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. Today we're back with another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. And we have two fantastic players here. It is going to be TY versus soO. Two of the top Korean players here are going to be going at it. This is a game from the WESG qualifiers. And I'm not actually sure who wins this though, so it's definitely going to be a good matchup here. These players are going to be playing their hardest, and when you have two names like this, two amazing players from the Korean scene, it should be very good. Anyway, without further ado, spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map, playing for Team KT Rolster, it is TY. TY, one of these players who's just amazing to watch, whether he wins or loses. And so it should be a good showing with him. Now, his opponent, opening up with the spawning pool first. Spawning down in the bottom left-hand side of the map, it is the Red Zerg playing for Team SKT. It is soO. So soO, one of those just referred, I guess, called monster Zergs, just such a solid player, can just sort of be daunting as how well he plays. So these two players butting heads should be a very good matchup here. soO, though, opening up with that spawning pool first, might be getting a bit worried, wanting to play safe, or maybe he has some strategy in mind. Maybe he's worried of TY sort of cheesing him out with Marines and proxy Raxes, as it's not unheard of on this map, which is New Gettysburg. I think I might have forgotten to mention that, but yeah, the map is New Gettysburg, so one of those more macro-oriented maps. Players can macro, players can go for sort of aggression if the aggression usually presents itself in a timing attack. It's not usually mass drops or anything like that, so I wouldn't exactly expect that out of TY. For now, the TY just opening up with a Reaper, expand, and soO going up for a fast third hatchery here. soO opened up very safe at the start of the game, but then followed it up with a quick third hatch, so gonna want to make up for that bit of safety play that he went for. So those two hatches on the way. TY just gonna be following up his Reaper with a Marine coming out. Might go for a reactor later on, we'll see. Maybe he'll go into Hellions. Or maybe he'll just sort of try and play safe and go for some very fast tech like a Banshee. We'll just see in a minute here. TY, though, actually staying at the top of his ramp with his Marines, wanting to stay safe, knowing how soO plays, needs to be prepared for early lings. Now, these lings are early for soO, so two lings are going to get in. They might be able to cancel this command center building. Well, not actually cancel the CC, but they will sort of deny the CC building, and this is a nice opening for soO, considering how he only invested in two lings and then got a fast third hatchery to follow it up. And it's also very important to say TY has not scouted this early hatchery, so for all TY knows, there could be a lot more lings on the map. There could be banelings, so TY is not going to be too happy with this start. soO went for the safer sort of, I guess, bit of aggression play, and it worked out perfectly. It was just sort of a nice little bit of aggression, and then nice safety as well. So we have soO, amazing overwood placement, just not going to be able to see if TY goes for any drops, and on a map like this, which there's so much dead space, it is a bit tough for Terran to go for drops on this map, so soO can sort of play it safe as long as he can hold off any attacks TY might potentially go for. As I said, timing attacks can be quite common on this map. Zergling speed on the way for soO, so not going to skip that or anything crazy like that. Continuously mining gas, so going to want to have lots of tech options like those Korean Zergs do. Then just macroing happily, and soO's macro is going to be absolutely absurd this game. He's already starting to saturate his third base. His natural base is pretty much fully saturated. Not mining too much gas, but he's going to be able to add those on later. Right now, quite a good mineral advantage in his income. TY Medivac on the way, got that classic TY bunker, just wanted him to stay safe. Third CC finishing up for TY, so he did go for some sort of follow-up macro play. He never actually did see the third base of soO, but TY's such a good player, he can probably assume that that's what soO's going for, knowing the meta. Looks like it's going to be a Widow Mine drop following this, as TY is going to follow up this third CC with just going to want to try and keep a bit of pressure while he sort of establishes his macro here. Reaper for TY getting in, gonna just sort of confirm that there is indeed a third base. Gonna see it's quite well saturated, so he's not gonna be too happy about that. Disrupting a bit of mining, but these speedlings are gonna kill the Reaper here. We see TY going for that wall off, just stopping this little ramp. Not gonna allow any easy ling run-bys for soO. See, now it stops the ling run-bys, but more importantly, what it does is it completely shuts them down by how it messes with the AI pathing. If soO tried to rally Lings across here, he wouldn't, like, the Lings would have to go the long way around unless he had to go through the manual effort of rallying them to right here, so then they can kill the supply depot. Anyway, it seems that TY had his drop shoot away, didn't get too much done there. Killed off 5 Lings, lost 2 Marines and his Reaper, so yeah, soO, no flies on him by all means. He's managing to hold off this aggression. Spore Crawler to clear up the Widow Mine, so that likely won't get any more kills. And we also see 1-1 upgrades on the way for soO. So soO just playing this game very safe by all means, like, well, not safe, but he's just macroing. He's not going for any attacks or any aggression like that. Oh, he needs to be paying attention here. TY actually managed to unburrow that Widow Mine, and it actually managed to get 4 kills there. Nicely done by TY. It seemed that that Widow Mine was dead for sure. Right now we see soO just continuing up his production right now, and 7 drones on the way. I did say that he was playing a bit safe, but he's really not right now. He's going for quite a bit of greed right now. He's going to have 1-1, which is going to make his Lings very good for defensive purposes. But TY can always get some aggression done. TY going for that Viking as well. I believe it cleaned up 2 Overlords, looking for a 3rd. soO pulling all his Overlords back to avoid that Viking. 1-1 is going to finish up for soO though, so this is going to give him quite good map control with these Lings. TY is moving out for a push, but all he has is 2 tanky vacs and a handful of Marines. Cleaning up a Ling that's scouted everything with this Xel'Naga Watchtower though, so I don't think this attack from TY is going to be able to get too much done. TY though, following this up interestingly enough with mech. I believe that there was a game from TY in the Kespa Cup, which was another recent tournament, which he did actually go for mech here versus Zerg, sort of an uncommon style, but he made it work, so maybe he's onto something right now. TY is being forced back, though. All those Marines are going to die. The tanky vacs taking shots off, sort of weakening up and killing off a good number of the Lings there, but not really worth it for that number of Marines, and considering the macro that soO is getting away with here. We see 1-1 on the way for soO. Now, this isn't soO's macro. It seems that he's expecting bio, the standard Terran bio right now. He's going for Aspire. He's getting Ling upgrades, Baneling speed. These are not units. These are not units or upgrades which are effective versus mech. TY might actually cancel this 4th base, but as I was saying, these are not units which are effective versus mech, as we see this TY getting blue flames. Those Hellbats Lings will not be effective versus his tanks. We see tanks on the way. Baneling's not effective versus siege tanks. soO will be able to make mutas, but then again, mutas are not too effective versus liberators or Thors. In this current version of Starcraft 2, we see +1 on the way for TY, so he is going to want that mech composition that can put out lots of damage. Placed down a 4th base in a bit of an odd situation. I guess he wants to be able to defend it easily, but then fly it over. A bit of half-half, I guess. Another CC on the way for TY, so TY is sort of meeting soO's macro with his own macro. 8 Mutalisk on the way. There is actually no turrets in any of the bases. TY, I guess, not expecting this or simply not caring. And eBay is on the way though, so he will be able to throw up turrets, and he might do just in time to stop these mutas. That would actually be such sick timing from TY if he can sort of sense that mutas are on the way. 2-2 is going to be on the way for soO, so he will have quite an upgrade lead, but it's not going to be the most important upgrade lead, and I think that soO has actually confirmed that this is mech, as we see sort of a very quick Hydra and Roach Warren go with a staple sort of buildings for Zerg to deal with mech. We see Infestation Pit go down, soO likely wanting to go to Hive Tech, which is sort of, it's sort of the late game comp. It allows Zerg to go to the compositions that they need to deal with mech in this game. As Roaches and Hydras, yes, they can trade with units like Thors, but a strong mech composition is very tough to beat without this Hive Tech. We see 6 Corruptors on the way, so it could possibly be Broodlords that TY's, or that soO's going to go for here. +1 on the way as well for the Spire. No Hive on the way just yet, so Broodlords will be a while off if soO is going for those, but he is going to have the Corruptors ready. He can shut down drops, Liberators, anything like that. Corruptors are very important to stop Liberators, as Liberators can't really be killed too much by Zerg ground. Hydralisks aren't too effective versus Liberators. Corruptors, though, are incredibly effective versus Liberators. And now we see soO is just pumping out units right now. Built to scare you, man. Roaches not wanting to be killed by any push, which Terrans commonly go for with an army like this. We see mass Lings on the field for soO. He's actually got 61 Lings. But these Hellions for TY are sharking around and could pick off a good number of them, then get out if they chose to. Hive on the way for soO, so he is teching right now. TY, mass Thors. He's going for this sort of Thor tank liberator composition, which is very strong. Now, if you let the Zerg sit back and just build whatever they wanted, Broodlords, Vipers, Infestors, they would beat this army. But it seems that TY is going to be gearing up for a push across the map, I assume, as for now soO's sort of taken this half measure. He's got, well, not really a half measure, but he's sort of caught in an awkward situation, as he's just got these roaches, these lings, which are not effective versus mech, and this means TY can have a very scary push, as soO can't make anything else because of his supply. He's got 83 drones, TY 77 SCVs, which is a lot. But every bit of army supply is going to matter when these two armies clash. soO could go for an attack, but it's not like as he is teching, he's likely going to be getting up Broodlords, maybe Ultralisks, depending on what he decides. He's got missile attack on the way, so soO's content macroing. Right now it seems TY's content macroing, but the timer is more on for TY, and we see TY starting to move out. He's going to be able to transform these these Hellions into Hellbats there. So there we go, he's doing that now. We see Medivac, so he can micro his unit. Mass Thors on the way. 23 Banelings for soO. This is one way to try and deal with mech, sort of just the brute force approach to just crashing into mech and trying to kill it. Wipe out the Hellbats, allow the Mutas and Roaches to get on top of the Thors very quickly. And now this is a very viable strategy for soO, but it's going to have to be very well executed, as this mech is just so tough. It's pushing across the map, and it's quite a scary army right now. If these tanks siege up, they might be able to cancel what is the 6th base, I believe, of soO. They could maybe move up and cancel or kill the 7th base. Anyway, though, we see soO moving in for an attack. Banelings crashing into Thors and Hellbats. Roaches are picking off a few Thors, but that was not the best trade for soO. Mass Banelings are coming down. They're crashing into some of the Thors and Hellbats. But once again, how effective can a trade be when your Banelings are crashing into Thors right now? We see mass tanks moving across the map for TY. He's just sort of sieging into these positions. 20 Roaches on the way for soO. But Roaches are not ideal versus siege tanks and Thors. soO engaging with sort of a small army right now. The Mutas are getting in. The Thors are going to be distracted by the Mutas. The Mutas quickly lead off. Corruptors moving in, starting to shut down these Liberators and Vikings, but the Thors are still there, and the Corruptors are going to have to back off. Masslings now on the way for soO. I guess he decided I killed the Hellbats. These Lings may be able to get on top of this army, and they very well could do, as Lings near creep can get on top of these siege tanks very quickly. We see just soO still continuously trying to macro while hold off this attack. TY is going to want to push forward, but it seems that he may be setting up camp here. These Corruptors for soO are moving and getting some scouting, but it seems that soO's getting a bit impatient here. He wants to break this attack, but TY is very well defended in right now. Lings are getting on top of the tanks friendly firing each other. Some of them going down. The Roaches and Ice Concave getting on top of these siege tanks here. TY even repairing some of the tanks in the midst of this battle. Right now the players are somewhat even on supply, but army supply is definitely going towards TY right now. TY upgrades are going to be finishing. 6 Broodlords are on the way for soO, so this is going to be one way to shut down this push. There's no air control for TY, so soO's Broodlords will pretty much go unopposed, and this could be putting a bit of a timer on TY. This is actually so funny though. Building a sensor tower on soO's side of the map. soO tried to go for a counterattack, but we saw that supply depot being repaired by SCVs, 2 Hellbats, and a siege tank. That's really all you need to hold a choke that's small. We see TY now pushing and killing off this base of soO. I don't think soO ever stood a chance of mining off that. As for now, soO just needs to build up composition, and right now soO is making 10 drones. I don't think that's the correct decision here. He's already on 86. soO needs all the army supply he can get. I don't think drones are the answer right now, but anyway, soO is moving out with these Broodlords. He's getting on top of these tanks, he's getting on top of these Thors and pushing them back. There are some Thors that have, well, tanks that have sort of been cut off. The Lings are going to get on top of them. You should be able to pick them off, these heavily upgraded Lings. The tanks do actually pick off all the Lings there. We see Drilling Claws on the way for TY. We see +1 on the way. TY just continuously making these Thors, so gonna try and just brute force through with these Thors. And Thors can kill Broodlords ever since they had their change, as they have their high impact payload attack mode. TY's also got quite good upgrades on his mech right now. We see a bit of harassment going down by 2 siege tanks, but they are cleaned up there. soO has had a lot of bases this entire game, but his macro has sort of been stifled a bit by TY's constant aggression, and soO's floating a lot of money. He does need to spend that, but I think that this is a wrong decision. soO going for 13 drones. We've seen Zergs lose if they just macro up too much versus mech and not have anything to stop it. soO knows that he stopped TY's attack, and maybe he figures he's turtling right now. TY actually loading up mass Widow Mines into Medivacs here. This is one interesting choice. He could try to go for some harassment, or maybe pick off Corruptors and Broodlords with them. Although right now it is seemingly just mass Thors and Medivacs as the choice for TY. Broodlord's starting to siege away this planetary fortress. Pressure is starting to build on TY, but soO is still down on army supply by a significant amount. Going for a Ling run by I think is a good choice. TY though is there to catch it. These Lings getting some of those Hellions as they transform into Hellbats. SCVs are going down for TY, but TY has a very good economy right now, and this is just freeing up more supply for his army. 6 more Broodlords on the way for soO. I'm not sure where the rest of his Broodlords went. There they are. There's 6 of them there. More of them morphing, so this is actually quite a high number of Broodlords from soO. We see the Corruptors absorbing Thor shots while the Broodlords are moving in, trying to kill off these Thors. Widow Mines are burrowing underneath the Broodlords, though, as TY drops in those mines and they burrow. They kill off a good number of the Broodlords. It's only 4 Broodlords are left. It's going to be 5 when one of these finishes up morphing. But it seems that there's enough Thors to clear this up, and TY might have broken soO with his massive mine drop there. Amazing play from TY. He just abused that Medivac. soO did not see that coming, it seems like, and now all the Broodlords are dead, and GG gets called as TY takes the game. That is a style we don't often see at all. Very well played to TY as he manages to break soO with sort of his own unique composition. I don't think soO really knew how to deal with that. soO died with 80 army supply, with 80 drones and 8 army supply there, so that sort of says the tale of this game. soO might have overdroned a bit, focused on his economy too bit. If soO maybe had a few more Broodlords or a bit more buffer for his army, he could have held on there. But regardless, the mech style is so unseen from TY. We may see it develop later on in games. Maybe we'll see pros bring this out more on this map, more in this games. But regardless, thank you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed the cast, feel free to leave a like. If you enjoy the casting content, feel free to subscribe, as I'm always putting out new casts. And if you like the video, feel free to give it a share, as that would really help out as trying to get out there as a Starcraft 2 caster on YouTube. And also, thanks to everyone on Reddit who does keep upvoting these posts. It helps you guys leave lots of feedback. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.